back, everyone. It's Funko Kev. Today is a new series that will be starting about me reviewing comic books that I've read. Today's topic is Deathstroke number 1 and Deathstroke number 2. So let's get right into it. Start off with a spoiler warning. If you guys haven't read Deathstroke number 1, I would suggest maybe watching this video later on and read it first and see what things that we can compare or disagree that I've said. So yeah, let's get right into it. After reading this book, I'll give it like a 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed the story. Probably you guys would too if you guys really like DC or also Deathstroke. He also gives off Deadpool vibes, if you guys didn't know. Right off the bat, Deathstroke number 1, the Terminators, I really enjoyed reading it. I'll probably give it a 9.5 out of 10. I really like the story and how they portrayed Deathstroke and who he is throughout the book. So straight off the bat, as I said before, the first page, basically there's a kind of a side story of Wintergreen and Deathstroke's wife talking to each other about Deathstroke and how he's not there, and then how his wife is complaining how he's never going to change, and with his job being a mercenary, what she does not like, he's basically not there in her life right now. The story, it pans out to Deathstroke in the top building where he's assigned to kill this certain person, and Wintergreen is basically talking to on the microphone or on the headset, talking about how he should be there for his wife before he loses her, and because the reason why he says that is because his child got assassinated. In the story, he says to himself, saying, "I know you said not to reach out until I was ready to change, but things are changing, and I'm not sure that change is good for me." Kind of really ties about who Deathstroke is and how he's not really he doesn't really confront his wife about the situation, and that's something he's kind of struggling in right now in the story. There's basically a scene where he's basically doing the assignment where he has to kill this certain person, and how basically Wintergreen tells him it's a blind drop and he doesn't want to give too much information and it has to be a silent kill. So he kind of tells himself, or to Wintergreen, saying, "You know what's strange, Wintergreen? I don't hate these guys at all, or the targets. I hardly think about them, but these clients. Imagine the kind of ego you have to tell the world's greatest assassin how to assassinate. Hard to fathom that sort of ego, sir. If I may, I think the client would tell you that what's the money for." So reading off that, what I interpret it is basically he doesn't really care what he does. He just does it for the money, and that he kind of thinks about the client, or the client basically, they're just doing this for money or for purposes like revenge. So later in the story, he kind of goes into this building and he talks to himself again, saying that, "I get more frustrated. Lately I get grumpy. I lash out. I'm an old man. Evolution was never in my nature. I grew up looking for directions, spent my whole young life taking orders. Wake up, yes sir. Go to sleep, yes sir. Sit here, eat this, point, aim, shoot. I was trained to weapons before the army gave me an experimental super soldier treatment." So that ties in with Deathstroke and who he is and what he used to be. So basically he was an ex-army, and he was basically told what to do, and he's tired of it. He's getting old. He does not want to listen anymore. He wants to do his own thing. And also within the story, the kind of the plot right now is basically he's looking for intel and looking for sensitive information throughout the building. So he kind of goes out looking for certain things and basically getting stopped by certain people. For example, he gets kind of stopped by these two people called Body Doubles, which is named Body Doubles Carmen Leno and Bonnie Hoffman. With that story, or that scene, is kind of probably one of my favorite ones. Wintergreen tells them who they are, and in the files they say that they have healing factors but not super strength. So when he hears that, he basically tells himself that, I don't have to hold back, so now I can actually do damage. While he listens to what the intel tells him, or what Wintergreen tells him about their healing factors, in that moment he starts fighting them. He gets hit, by one of them, and then in that scene he talks to himself, saying that, "Even so, I've been around long enough to experience a lifetime worth of loss, and I've caused immeasurable losses. When you do that for your job, it can feel like purgatory. Highs aren't highs, lows don't feel anything different. Everything's right down the middle. I'm not sure if I ever felt joy. Sometimes I worry I can't feel anything at all." So with that, he kind of tells himself that what he does, he doesn't feel anything. He has no sense of emotion with that, and how he's kind of losing himself. And this is what I'm understanding from what I'm reading right now. And I think that like he's kind of like having a midlife crisis, I guess. So after that, what he tells himself, he kind of like destroys or kills both of them, and then he gets into this kind of like secret room. And the moment he gets in there, he sees Wintergreen dead on the desk. Once he sees Wintergreen, he kind of gets like super emotional, saying that we're not doing this, Wintergreen. You can't die. He basically tells himself that to him, basically, I know that you will always be taken care of. And with that, he sees he looks at the computer that's right next to him, and seeing what is shown, and what is showing is basically like all the information is gone, all the money that he has in his bank accounts is gone. It's basically wiped out, and there's a note saying that Slade, I'm taking everything. So he doesn't know who that is. So in this story, he kind of tells himself how that kind of changes him. Also, he says that there's an emptiness inside me, in my head. While he's saying that, he kind of gets ambushed by these soldiers, basically shooting at him, and he kind of like a small, kind of like funny way in the story, he says, "Sorry to make you meat shield, old friend. I promise you, I would have done the same for you." And reading that kind of like gives me off that, like when there was that scene of Deadpool and Wolverine where Nice Pool gets like obliterated by these bullets and uses him as a meat shield. That he sees that there's a bomb tied behind the chair, and it basically explodes. And then there's a side story or side kind of voice box basically talking to himself, basically saying, "I'm changing, Rose. That's the thing. I was just a killer. Now I'm something worse." So that kind of ends with the comic talking about how he's gonna find who killed Wintergreen, and he's gonna make him basically his sole mission. So it kind of wraps up Deathstroke the Terminator issue number 1. Like I said, I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed the art, the story as well, of how Deathstroke is basically doing this now, and he's doing it for the long run, like as he said it before. If you guys really like this video, make sure to like and also comment things that you agree with me and or your input about the Deathstroke issue number 1. And I really had fun making this video. I want to continue this series. I hope you guys like this video, like I said it before. Make sure to follow, like, and comment, and I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.